Special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this video possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Scare204 here bringing you another Minecraft Cold War aircraft tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the British Aerospace P.1216. The P.1216 was an advanced short takeoff / vertical landing AS supersonic aircraft from the 1980s that was planned. It was designed by the former Hawker design team at Kingston upon Thames, Surrey, England, and created the Harrier jump jet family of aircraft. The P.1216 was planned to be powered by a plenum chamber burning equipped vectored thrust engine. This used 3 swiveling engine nozzles rather than the 4 used in the Harrier. The project was most notable for its use of a twin boom layout in place of a single rear fuselage. The aircraft was intended to meet Royal Air Force and Royal Navy requirements for an AS aircraft, as well as a possible sale to the United States Marine Corps. All these customers subsequently developed the F-35B. Some of the design and test work of the P-1216 was used in the F-35B. So yeah, this was a really interesting project type aircraft that was developed during the late, or basically I would say pretty much just in the 80s. It was designed to actually be what the F-35 ended up being, kind of a supersonic fighter aircraft that was capable of obviously VTOL capabilities. Obviously this project was cancelled and the F-35B became the aircraft that both nations, both the United States and the UK decided to go with, but overall pretty interesting little aircraft here. Very unique and probably I would say one of our more unique Modern Warfare aircraft designs, just due to its very unconventional design here with a twin boom, which very atypical for a lot of Modern Warfare aircraft. But before we go and dive into taking a look at the aircraft, I do want to go and give special thanks to Patreon support Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. As always, if you are interested in supporting the channel more than you already do, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions, where you can go and put a small amount to the channel every month. And in doing so, earn a vehicle request you're choosing. It really helps support the work I do, and it's fairly greatly appreciated. So definitely feel free to check that out. Again, links are always in my video descriptions. With that though, let's go ahead and dive in here to take a look at the P-1216. So basically this aircraft here was never really built. It was just kind of more concepts and drawings rather than anything. But basically we went ahead and went with a kind of a Royal Navy color scheme here, or just the very standard kind of gray and green camo scheme that was used by the British for a long time during the Cold War period. I absolutely love the color scheme, so that's why I went ahead and fruit on this aircraft here. But it has this huge intake on the bottom here, very big, and then it's got the whole cockpit section here, which again is just a small little fuselage section here. Down on the bottom here we have the different engines, so you have the nozzles that would be on the sides, and then you have the main nozzle there on the back there. We have the twin booms that go back, so the booms obviously go back on both sides. The wings kind of flow into them, and you also have the horizontal stabilizers like that. So it's kind of a funky looking aircraft, as you can see, but really cool and really unique, and especially if you're looking for some kind of like Cold War or some experimental or some kind of cool random aircraft to have on your world. So this right here is going to be it, because I have a feeling that most, if not all of you that are watching this video right now have probably never even heard of this aircraft. So a fun aircraft, that's for sure, and should be a fun build to add and really confuse people that this was an actual concept type aircraft. As I said, none of these were actually ever built, but it was definitely a concept for sure, and a very cool one nonetheless. So anyways though, that right there is going to do it for this overview. Let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer. Alrighty guys, so going ahead and moving into our first layer here, we're going ahead and start with layer 2. Now we're starting with layer 2 because it gives us a better basis for the aircraft to kind of work off of and kind of expand upon. So we're starting with layer 2 just because layer 1 is going to be really just adding some missiles and stuff like that, and then some stuff to the bottom intake. So it's a little bit easier to start at this point here. In addition, if you are completely new to my aircraft tutorials, the way I like to structure these tutorials, I like to do half on camera, half off. What this means is we're going to be building the entire center line on camera, and then we'll be building the right side. It'll be up to you guys to take the right side and copy it over to the left side. This aircraft is completely symmetrical, so what we do on one side will be done to the other. In addition, if you are also wanting to build the landed version of the aircraft, you will need to make sure that you take a few things into account. First thing is being that we will be building the aircraft in flight and landing gear on at the end as a modification. To make sure that you have this aircraft built correctly, you want to make sure that you have 3 blocks of space between our ground level and basically the start of layer 2 here. So again, we have 3 full blocks of space between this layer here and the ground level. Very important to make sure that is correct if you are planning on building the landed version. If you are building this in flight, obviously just make sure you have enough room and you're not going to run to the height limit at all. And lastly, the last thing I want to mention is that there is a camouflage done on my mock-up of that model over there. I will be talking about the camouflage a little bit later. I will not be going super in depth and doing a block by block showing you guys how to make the camouflage, but I will show you guys the process of how you can go about building the camouflage for yourself, as well as giving you some different angles. So if you really want to, you could just copy the model I have over there in terms of its camouflage. But let's go ahead and get started, and we'll be building this solely in a stone color, and the green will be added on later on at the end if you want to do the camouflage. Anyways though, let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to place down a black concrete block, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 stone blocks back, a narrow black concrete block, a stone top slab, and 2 iron trapdoors back. We're going to then go forward a space of 2, so we're going to skip 2 blocks of space, and then place down 2 iron trapdoors, and these are going to be on the top portion of the block, and not on the bottom, like so. So make sure they're on the top like that, and we can go and delete those blocks like that. After that, going ahead and going to the sides, we're going to place down a black concrete block coming off this one here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stone blocks back, an andesite wall, and then a black stained glass pane, like so after that wall. To the sides here, we're going to go and place down a red narrow brick wall coming off this black concrete block. And then an andesite wall going forward, and then 2 andesite walls back, a light gray stained glass pane, a polished black stone wall like so, and then a skeleton skull like that for our little side nozzles. At this point, we want to go and then go to our first andesite wall here. We're going to count out 1, 2, and 3 blocks to the side here. So 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to place down a stone upside down stair, like so. Behind this stair, we're going to place down an upside down stair like that. So this stair turns into a corner stair, and then you have your normal stair like that. We can then delete any of those placeholder blocks we built out to the side there. After we have that done, we're going to take our andesite walls, and we're going to go back 1, 2, 3, and 4 back from the stairs like so. Actually, sorry, it's going to be row 5. On the first 3 walls, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, like gray stained glass panes toward the inside here. And then we want to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, and 4 andesite walls. Come off the side of these 2 walls, we're going to place down 2 stone full blocks. We then want to place down a row of 2 of stone blocks across, followed by a second row and then a third row. At this point here, we get to this back section, and this right here is where it'll kind of change depending on what game version you're on. If you're on Java, we'll be going ahead and placing down basically 4 rows of 2 of pistons going across. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. If you're on a different version, such as Bedrock or Pocket Edition, I would place down 2 stone blocks and then 2 stone top slabs, and same thing over here, 2 stone blocks and 2 stone top slabs instead. But since we're on Java, we're going to be going ahead and doing the technique here with our pistons, and we're going to go ahead and come back to this a little bit later and expand upon what we're doing here and kind of give you'll see what we're doing there a little bit later. If you're newer to my tutorials, you'll understand here shortly, but we're going to go and basically do that, and we can delete any blocks above those pistons like so. We then want to place down a row of 2 of stone top slabs, followed by a second row of 2. At this point, we're going to then place down a stone full block on the outside here. Then we can either choose a stone upside down stair or a piston like this on the bottom here. Either one will work. Then another stone top slab and another 2 iron trapdoors back from that stone top slab. So that right there will basically round out our booms there for the aircraft. After that, we do have a weapons pylon we are going to add, and this is going to be going ahead and going to this first piston or this section right here. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your 6th block here. We're just going to go 2 out to the side. So 1, 2. We're going to place down an andesite wall, then 2 andesite walls back from that, and then a skeleton skull, which will be coming off the andesite wall like that toward the front there. We can then delete any of these placeholder blocks, as we will not be needing those any further. And looking at it from above, this is what we should have for the top-down view with this layer all complete. So again, that right there is the top-down view, and that is going to conclude everything we have for layer 2. With that, let's drop down to layer number 1. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 1. For layer 1, we're going to go ahead and drop to the bottom portion here of the fuselage. Underneath that middle black concrete block, we're going to place down a red nether brick top slab, like so. A stone top slab coming off the front, or toward the front, and then 2 stone top slabs back, like that, going toward the rear. We're going to go then place down 3 iron trapdoors going back from those for those 2 stone top slabs. Then to the sides here, we're going to place down a an iron trapdoor coming off this slab like so. Then we're going to place down an acacia wood trapdoor, and then 1, 2, 3 iron trapdoors back from that, and that right there is going to be the bottom there of that intake. After we have that done, we are going to be going ahead and building our missiles here. So for missiles here, we're going to go to this this andesite wall. We're going to go and drop down from this wall and go over 1 out to the side there. And we're going to place down a quartz stair like so. We're going to place down a birchwood fence gate coming off of it, followed by a skeleton skull like that. And then we're going to place down 2 birchwood fence gates back from that stair. We're going to place down a second upside down stair like so. Skeleton skulls on both sides of this back stair, as well as on top of it, like so. We're also going to place down a skeleton skull on top of this stair, as well as a birchwood fence gate to the sides of the stair like so. And then a birchwood sign on the side of that fence gate, like that, to both sides. And after you have that done, that's going to be our first missile right here. Our next missile is going to go ahead and go onto our pylon here. So underneath this andesite wall, quartz stair, 2 birchwood fence gates going forward, another smooth quartz stair, another birchwood fence gate, and another skeleton skull coming off it like so. Again, birchwood fence gate on both sides of the stair, opened up toward it, a birchwood sign on the side of the fence gates, and then after that, a skeleton skull on both sides of this quartz stair like so. And with that all complete there, that right there is going to conclude what we have there for our missiles. So you have those both on both sides there on the pylons and also on those booms. And looking at from above here, this we should have for the top-down view so far. With that all complete, that is going to wrap up layer 1, and with that, let's go and move into layer number 3. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 3. For layer 3 to get started with here, we're going to go ahead and place down a stone block on top of this iron trapdoor right up here in the front. Then we're going to place down 1 more stone block. We're going to go ahead and place down 2 pistons, like so, on the bottom here. If you're on, obviously, Bedrock or Pocket Edition, I would recommend placing down maybe a stone top slab here, then a stone upside down stair instead. Try to find some alternatives for that sloping there, but we're going to go ahead and place the pistons, and we're going to keep those there for right now. And on the end of the pistons or the stone top slab, whichever you do, we're going to have a nether brick top slab and end rod, and then a chain coming off it like that for the front there. After we get that done, we want to go and then go back to this stone block here. We're going to go and then go back from this stone block a total of 13 stone blocks back, so it's going to end on top of this first iron trapdoor. We're going to place down another piston, like so. On top of this block here, you can go and place down a stone stair instead if you do not have, if you're not on Java. Then a stone slab, and then a skeleton skull coming off that stone slab toward the back there. Going back up to the front, we're going to go and place down a wither skeleton skull on the side of this piston, the second piston right here, or the second block right here. We're going to then place down 2 of our glass panes of light gray back. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 andesite walls, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 stone blocks back, an andesite wall, a light gray stainless pane, a skeleton skull, and then a birchwood sign on the side of that stone slab, like that. We can also go ahead and continue to work our way out to the sides here. This is going to start off by placing down an iron trapdoor coming off this first wall, followed by 1, 2, 3, and 4 iron trapdoors back, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 stone top slabs, and then 2 iron trapdoors after that. Next row here, we're going to go and go to this last iron trapdoor right here. We're going to place down a row of 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 stone top slabs back, and then in there 2 iron trapdoors. After that, we're going to then place down an iron trapdoor coming off this one here, then 1 back, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 iron trapdoors or stone top slabs back, and then 2 iron trapdoors after that. Our next row here is going to be a daylight detector that's going to go on top of this wall right here. We're going to go and turn this to the night mode like so. After that, we're going to place down a stone slab, followed by a piston that we're just going to leave as is right now. It could be also a stair if you're replacing it on a different version. And then behind that, we're just going to place down 2 andesite walls. After that, on the inside here, we're going to go and place down an andesite wall that's going to be next to this one. So 1, 2. And then we're going to then place down 1 and 2 more, so a row of 4 there, and then 2 stone blocks on the inside here. We then want to take our stone blocks, we're going to place down 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you have a total of 6 rows of 2 of these stone blocks going back. At this point here on the inside, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, and 4 andesite walls, And after those 4 andesite walls, we're going to go and place down a row of 1, 2, and 3 micro stainless panes. We're going to then place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 stone blocks down the center here, and then a skeleton skull on the side like that. After we have that done, we want to go and then go to our 4th from last stone block. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, this one right here. So our 4 from last, we're going to place down a stone slab like this, followed by a second one out to the side there. We're going to then place down 2 stone slabs forward. And after that, it is going to be 1 slab forward, an iron trapdoor here, and the iron trapdoor right there. Now at this point here, we're going to place down an iron trapdoor in this section here, a daylight detector, followed by a second one back, turn those to night mode, and then another iron trapdoor here, and another daylight detector right here, again, turn to the night mode, like so, and that's going to be your horizontal stabilizers. For our wings, going ahead and continuing these, we're going to start off by going ahead and place down a stone top slab on the second stone block here on the side, so a stone top slab, and then after that stone top slab, we're going to go ahead and place down a total of 1, 2, 3, and 4 stone full blocks. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 stone full blocks, which will be followed up with a stone stair, and then a polished andesite slab. After we have that done, we want to go and then place down a stone slab that will be coming off this stone block here, 2 stone stairs, 1 and 2 stone slabs after that. Actually, it's going to be 3 stone slabs back, and then an air polished andesite slab like that. There. We then want to go ahead and place down polished andesite slab coming off this one, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4 stone slabs forward. After that, we're going to go ahead and place down a stone slab coming off this polished andesite slab here. Then we're going to go 2 forward, and then a polished andesite slab back. After that, we then want to go ahead and then place down a polished andesite slab coming off this one, and then 2 stone slabs going forward, like so. And then at this point, we're going to go and build our other missiles, which will be on the endpoints here of the wing. So for this, we're going to need some quartz stairs, skeleton skulls, birchwood fence gate, a dark oak wood sign, and a wither skeleton skull, as well as an item frame with a black concrete block will be useful as well. One thing also I forgot to mention for the previous layer, layer 1, is we do want to place down item frames on the back here of these stairs, and we're going to place down black concrete in those item frames. If you're on Java, we can also place a birchwood sign on the side there of those stairs as well. Placing that sign there is going to be a Java only feature. If you are on Bedrock or Pocket Edition, just know that you will not be able to place a sign and item frame in the same block space, so you'll have to just place down the item frame and disregard the sign. It's usually what I typically recommend. Anyways, going to the side missiles here, pretty simple. We're going to place down a quartz upside down stair in this section here, then 2 birchwood fence gates going forward. We're going to then place down a polished blackstone top slab like so, a dark oak wood sign to both sides of that top slab, and then a wither skeleton skull coming off of that, like so, for the missile here. And then on the back here, we also want to place down an item frame with a black concrete block in the item frame, and a birchwood sign on the side here, again, if you're on Java. And lastly, a skeleton skull on the side here of the stair. With that all done, though, that is going to basically wrap that all up. And that right there is pretty much all we need to do for this layer. Now, if you are on Java, we are going to go ahead and use a command /give space at p space Minecraft :debug. And it should kind of autofill here, but it's going to be underscore and then stick. In this right here, when we press enter using this command, we get this kind of glowing stick. What we can do here is we can go up to our pistons now. We're going to leave these ones alone because those will not be able to be modified just yet. But the ones here on our pylons, or our booms, we can go ahead and alter. So these two will alter to that state right there. We'll also go to the bottom of the aircraft here, or this middle section here. We'll go ahead and alter that one there. And then these pistons here on the booms also can be changed like that. And also this one right there. And as you can see, it kind of helps create that slope a little bit nicer on the aircraft. It's kind of a cool little technique here using a debug stick and all that stuff for that feature. Again, that's going to be a Java only feature to do that. One thing to mention though is that we're not going to touch these up here in the front, but we do want to keep our debug stick handy with us, because if we alter these pistons, if you update a block anywhere near this piston, it will cause it to go back to its normal state. So we're just going to leave it as is for right now, and we'll go ahead and modify that later. But if you're on Java, just keep this debug stick handy, and we'll be coming back to that a little bit later. Anyways, though, that is it for layer 3, and with that, let's move on to layer number 4. Moving into our next layer, we have layer 4. For layer 4, to get started with, here we're going to place down a black carpet on top of this nether brick top slab. We're going to go then place down a daylight detector, turn it to night mode, and then a nether brick slab. After that, we should have these two pistons on the bottom here. We can go ahead and then alter them into this state like so. So we'll use our debug stick on them right there. After this, we're going to go ahead and then place down a piston right here, and then behind that, a black concrete block, a stone block, and then we're going to go ahead and then place down a row of 4 black concrete. If you want to close the cockpit section off, if you do want to try to build an interior for the cockpit, you can leave this space of 4 open. Just you really don't have any interior space for this aircraft, so it's best just to close it off with the black concrete, but again, I'll leave that choice up to you guys. Anyways, after that row of 4 blocks, we're going to go then place down 1, 2, 3, and 4 stone blocks, a nether piston, a stone slab, and a nether daylight detector turned to night mode. After that, going to the sides here, we're going to go and place down a skeleton skull on the side of this piston. We can go and then change this piston state by going ahead and right-clicking it to extend it true. This can also be a polished black stone stair, or actually, sorry, rather a nether brick stair instead. And then on the back here, I would place down a stone stair if you do not have access to these pistons. But anyways, continue on. We're going to then place down a light gray stainless pane like so. Then 1, 2, 3, and 4. Andesite walls back. 1, 2, 3. Stone full blocks. 2 stone stairs. A stone slab. And then 2 daylight detectors turned to night mode back. And then an iron trap door. This piston here, we can also go ahead and change to its state like that. After that, continue to the sides here and place down an iron trap door. After that, I'm going to place down 2 daylight detectors, turn those to night mode. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stone slabs. 1, 2, 3, 4 of our daylight detectors. Turn those to night mode as well. And then 2 iron trap doors back. Our next row is going to be 2 iron trap doors on top of these 2 here. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 daylight detectors. Again, all turn to the night mode. And then after that, we're going to then place down 1, 2, 3 iron trap doors back. And then we're going to go and grab a light gray carpet and place down a light gray carpet here on the ends. After that, we're going to place down 2 iron trapdoors on top of those 2 right there. Then we're going to place down 2 daylight detectors turned to night mode. After that, then 1, 2, and 3 iron trapdoors. And then 1, 2, and 3 light gray carpets. Next row is going to be an iron trapdoor on top of this andesite wall. And then we're going to place down 2 more back, so you have a row of 3 there. And we want to go and then take our light gray carpet and go back 1, 2, and 3. After that, we're going to then place down a light gray carpet on top of this second wall right here. And then 1, 2, and 3 back, so you have a total of 4 there, like so. After that's done, also on our outer missiles here, we are going to place down a skeleton skull on top of the stair as well. So just going for that on there as well. Then go into our booms here. We're going to go to our basically third from last stone block. We're going to place down a stone block on top of that. Then 1, 2, and 3 stone blocks going forward of it, so you have a row of 4 there, like so. And that right there will basically conclude what we have for layer 4. Taking a look at it from above, this is what we should have for the top-down view so far for this aircraft. And with that, let's go and move into our next layer, layer number 5. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer number 5. For layer 5 to get started with here, we're going to place down a nether brick slab, which will go on top of this stone block here. And then we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, and 4 black stained glass blocks, a nether brick slab again, a daylight detector turned to night mode, a iron trap door, and then an andesite wall after that. And that right there is going to do it for your canopy like this. And we also want to go ahead and then grab ourselves some light gray stained glass panes, or actually sorry, some black stained glass panes. And we're going to place down 1, 2 on the side here. Actually, just place down a row of 4 going alongside those full blocks, just like that. And that right there will basically be the canopy there for the front. Now, with that done, we're going to go ahead and go back to our tail here. We're going to place down a stone block on top of this second one, then 2 more back, so you have row 3 there, and then a light gray stainless pane there on the end. And that right there is going to do it for your tail section. With that, though, that is going to wrap up everything we have for layer 6, and with that, we'll go ahead and move into our final layers, layers 7 and 8. Alright guys, moving into our final layers, we have layers 7 through 8. These layers here are super simple. We're going to start off by going ahead and going to the cockpit here. We're going to place down a nether brick slab on that second block there, and then a daylight detector turned to night mode on the second one, like that for the front canopy. After that, going to the tail of the aircraft, we want to go ahead and place down a stone block on top of this one, a second stone block back, and then an andesite wall, and then 2 stone blocks on top there like so, and same thing will be done over here as well. So just like that. And with that all done, you pretty much have your aircraft built and good to go. Obviously, this is the version without the camouflage, and we'll be going ahead and doing obviously the camouflage version and the landing gear version. At this point, I would like to direct you guys to the chapters or the sections of the video located in the time encoder bar down below. Take a look at that, and you can go ahead and skip ahead to wherever you need to go. If you want to do the camouflage and you're building the in-flight version, go ahead and skip ahead to that. If you're building the landed version, we're going to be going ahead and covering that next, so feel free to just go ahead and jump straight to that. But yeah, that right there is it for the pretty much the base model for the in-flight version, and let's go ahead and move on to adding the landing gear. Alright guys, so moving into our landing gear is really simple to do. We're going to start off with our front wheel to begin with. For this, we're going to drop down to this section here. We want to go and go to this iron trapdoor right after this acacia wood trapdoor, and this is going to be on the right side of the aircraft and the right side only. We're going to go ahead and remove this iron trapdoor, place down a quartz wall direct wall like so, a smooth quartz upside down stair like so, and then a block of coal there on the bottom. Coming off the back of the stair, we're going to place down a tripwire hook, and then we're going to delete this iron trapdoor here, and in its place down a lever that'll be facing that direction like so. So it looks like it connects up to that direct wall. We'll also have this banner design, which is basically a white banner with a black border and a black line through the center. This will be placed on both sides of this block of coal like that to go ahead and kind of help reinforce that wheel type color design. And as you can see here, the wheel is off center, so very similar to that of like the A10 Warthog. Due to the intake being right here, A10 has the gun that's kind of in the way. Basically it's off center there to basically allow that space to be utilized. But yeah, so that right there is it for the front wheel, and with that, let's go ahead and move on to the back ones. And going ahead and moving into our rear landing gear, we're going to be going ahead and going to our booms on the side here. We're going to go ahead and count back our third block from our inside walls there. We're going to drop down from this block, place down a direct wall, a birchwood fence post, and then a quartz top slab on the bottom there. We're going to place down 2 polished black stone walls like so, and there are 2 to the side. And we then want to place down wither skeleton skulls on top of these walls, just like that on both sides there. After that, we're going to place down a barrier block, coming off this direct wall toward the back here. A lever on the bottom of it, flick toward the front there, and then a lever on this side, flicked up toward the top there as well. And that same thing will be done for this side to go ahead and put the landing gear on that boom on the other side like so. And with that all complete there, that is going to basically wrap up what we have there for the landing gear for the aircraft. Pretty straightforward and simple stuff. And with that, we're going to go ahead and now move into talking about the camouflage for it. Alright guys, so when it comes to doing the camouflage for this aircraft, there's really not a whole lot to it. It's pretty straightforward, and the best thing to really do is to grab the blocks I used and kind of integrate them by going ahead and taking a look at real life or pictures that you can find online. More kind of artist renditions, I guess, of the aircraft in this kind of color scheme. But basically that's what I did, to go ahead and add the green in and kind of use proportions and where things would line up to go ahead and place down our green on the aircraft. Really simple though. Basically to kind of add that green, I used green terracotta, dark oak wood slabs and stairs, trapdoors. Changing daylight detectors to the day mode really does help kind of show that transition of camouflage in those areas where we do have a lot of daylight detectors. Walls, mossy cobblestone walls, and green stained glass panes. And you can kind of see here what I basically did. You can see the green kind of flows into the boom, so it kind of flows in the boom into the leading edge of the wing. We're all talking about kind of like little flows here. This camouflage pattern likes to flow a lot throughout the aircraft. So you see it kind of flows from the horizontal stabilizer into the tail. And this right here is kind of your biggest example of that. We have it kind of start from the bottom here. So this green wraps around the bottom here of the aircraft. So it kind of comes around this way, wraps back around, and then starts going up this way. So it kind of wraps around it, and you have a little bit on the green on the nose here as well. Basically, you just wrap it around. Just make sure on the bottom here you are paying attention to that as well. You do want to transition that green coloring on the bottom as well, as it is on both the top and bottom of the aircraft. So you do want to make sure that that does get transitioned. But anyways, that right there is pretty much what I did for the camouflage. It's pretty straightforward for the most part, and you're really not adding too much green. I think from pictures and artist renditions, it looks like the aircraft is probably about a 60-40, 60% gray, 40% green. So just keep that in mind when you're building. You want a little bit more gray than you want green. But anyways, that right there is pretty much it for the camouflage. And with that, that's going to wrap up my tutorial here for the BAe P1216 Overall, really interesting aircraft and one of our more unique Modern Warfare ones that we've done in recent time. So, hope you guys do enjoy it and are able to put it to good use. If you do end up using this build, I do ask you guys give me proper credit for it. This being from the side of the build, link to my channel or this video if this does appear on social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for the build, you're free using for a project you guys are working on. Overall, enjoy the build, have fun with it, and all that fun stuff. And with that, again, a big special thanks to Patreon support Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. And as always, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions. And all that. With that, though, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Garrett 2x4, and I'll see you guys next time.